All right. So, welcome on in. We got ourselves a new week. We're going to talk about kind of starting new weeks and bringing awareness to new adventures and new challenges as things come up. With our new week, this is the start of actually 2 new weeks for us. And what we're going to be working on are some new additions to our warm-ups, some new additions to our workout, and definitely some new additions to the stretches at the back end. So today is a great day, a great opportunity to pay a little extra attention, to come in here with a little bit of your learning cap on and be prepared to get some new ideas and some new movements into what we're doing, as well as some new timing. So preparing for that, just to give you like a quick breakdown beyond the warm-ups, when we get into the workout today, what we're going to do in the beginning will be new. We're going to take a single movement that can be done on both sides of the body. So it's a single-sided movement that we're going to do today. We're going to do 2 of those, but we've got our single movement and we're going to do a full range of motion for 40 seconds. So let me give you just a quick demo. Basically, we're going to start out by doing a lunge, and your full range of motion into a lunge would be going down and up, right? So I'll do your full range of the lunge for 40 seconds, and then you'll have 10 seconds of break. And then we're going to go to a pulse of that same lunge for 20 seconds, for half the time. So we're going to get into the bottom point, and we're just going to barely go up and down. And that should be really getting us to a big burner into that. So we've got that on one side, where we go 40 seconds of the full range of motion, 10 seconds of rest, 20 seconds of the pulsing of that motion, 10 seconds of rest, and then we switch it and we do it on the other side. We do our 40-10, our 20-10. Once we've done both sides, we immediately finish up by doing 30 seconds of cardio. So today's cardio for our standing movements is going to be doing little zigzag steps across your mat to one side and then zigzag steps back over to the opposite side. We'll go over that with you as we get through it, but I want you to be prepared that essentially we're doing 2 separate movements that are single-sided. We're going to do them on both sides each time in each set, and we're going to do each set 2 full times. Basically, we're doing the movement 4 separate times through there. So we'll get you through that in the beginning, but to get you started, we'll go through our normal warm-ups. Before we jump into the warm-ups, we'll go through kind of that little spiel we like to, which is I want you to have your feet out and ready to roll today. I would like you to be paying attention to which muscle groups we're telling you that we're trying to aim for and working during the workout today. If you have any injuries, I want you to be careful about what you're doing. If you feel bright or sharp pains, you just simply stay away from a movement or you try to find your way around it. If you have a movement that you can add in as opposed to the one that bothers you, please do so. Do not hesitate to do that. If you got your own music, this is a good time to hit the play button onto that. And also, we're going to still be warming up with our pole, so I want that to be handy with you. Other equipment for today, a moderate size weight where that water bottle could fit in nicely. A good heavy weight, so maybe a bag, a backpack, or Sarah's got her baking soda, per usual. And maybe even a book could fit in as kind of that moderate weight option today. So this is what you're going to need. If you don't got it, go ahead and grab it right now. And let's go ahead and get into our warm-ups. We're going to start our warm-ups the regular way that we have been, which is taking our pole and reaching it up and overhead, and then bringing it back in front. We're going to keep our rep count at the same, which has been those 6 reps of the forward back. And if you want to take your hands a little wider, that can usually help you get a little further behind you. If you can't get the bar all the way up and overhead or all the way back, just go to where you can, and that's okay as well. Second movement is going to the sides, so we're going to pull one arm down over to the one side, bring it back up and get tall, and switch it over to the opposite. 6 reps is our magic number throughout the day today in our warm-ups. Find some good breathing in. Let's oxygenate the body. And final one here. Okay, next up are those windmills. So we're going to keep the arms out in front. We're going to take one hand overhead and reverse around, following that full circle around the top of the body. If you need to be like a little bit higher up, that's okay. And once you've done 3, reverse your sides and do another 3 on that opposite side. Once again, if you need to be a little higher up here for the shoulders, that is totally cool. Okay, and then we're doing rotations where we need some room behind us from here. So let's go ahead and rotate and extend the arm back behind us and then switch to that opposite side. With this, you're going to pick up that opposite heel to help the rotation occur. You're going to find and feel those abs and those hip muscles in the center of the body, pulling that rotation side to side. All right, let's do 2 more, last 2 here. All right. So then from here, our wide stance, bringing the bar onto the shoulders, finding our back muscles active behind this, sitting back and down to 1, standing up, getting tall, 6 slow, good, controlled reps. You're finding the heel as you push up and as you come back down. One more, last one. All right, and then we're gonna take a little bit of a spin on what had been an earlier warm-up movement for us. We're gonna keep the bar up and overhead. We're gonna do some step back lunge style. So we're gonna do a split lunge where our right foot's gonna really just step back, and we're gonna twist open to the left side. We're gonna bring the hands back pointing center. We'll stand up through that left heel and switch. Good step back, rotate to the forward leg side, come up and tall. We got 6 of these. Work on control. And remember that you can find good control through that forward leg. Forward heel is where our balance point is. Final one, breathe in, step out, breathe out, all the way up. Very nice. Let's take that pole, let's put it to the side. We're gonna bring ourselves down into a low squat. So what I want us to do is start in our standing position, have our feet a little bit wider than the shoulders, bring ourselves down to where you can in a low squat. So that could be up high if you can't get too low, or wherever you can. Then keeping that squat position, we're gonna open one arm. We're gonna bring it back down, we're gonna switch to that next side. Good. And if you wanna kind of work on your squat positioning, if you wanna work on getting a little lower, you're welcome to make some adjustments. We'll go 2 more. Eyes up on the hand as it lifts. Perfect, and last one. Awesome. Okay, so from here, we're gonna go down to both of the knees. We're gonna do a little bit of work on our wrists to loosen them up. So keeping your palms down, but having your fingers point towards you as you come to the floor here. And we're gonna do a little breathing. So I want you to breathe out and sit back just a little bit. I want you to breathe in and come back forward, shoulders over the top of the wrist. Breathe out, sit down. Breathe in, bring it up. Out, in, out. In, 2 more, and last one. Okay, and then our final 2 on the floor before we do a little bit of cardio will be in that kneeling position, but now one leg has taken straight out to the side and the toes are pointed in that direction. We're gonna follow with the top half of our body leaning that direction and then pressing through that foot coming back up. Lean into it, push back up with a little power. Should start feeling some nice inner thigh stretch here. Getting a great opportunity to get into some kind of tighter areas that don't always have the easiest ways to stretch them out or to work them out.
Everything's cracking.
I think that's a good sign. Let's switch it. Opposite side here. All my stuff is like, no, we're not gonna move that direction. All right, so breathing with this. Let's breathe in, come forward, and exhale and push up. Breathe in, breathe out, in, out, and last one. All right, and then we finish up with the same movement that we have been putting into the back end of our warm-ups most recently. We're gonna have that foot a little further out in front. Your opposite hand goes behind your head. You're gonna lean forward and pull the elbow back. And then as you extend back, you pull the toes up on the right side and go elbow to knee on the right. Perfect, 6 reps. Let's breathe in, bring it forward. Breathe out, push back. 2 more here. Feel that hip a little bit, getting some stretch. Excellent, let's switch to that right knee down, your left foot out in front. Right hand behind the head, we lean into it and breathe in. We push back, breathe out and crunch. Good, we're finding moderate discomfort in this stretch. If you're not getting a moderate discomfort, then extend back a little further. And last one. Fantastic. Those are our new warm-ups. Like I said, we'll be practicing them over the following 2 weeks here, so get used to them. We're going to finish up doing some cardio, and we're going to call it bicycles at the back end of our warm-ups for 30 seconds. So all of you, join us on the floor on our backs here. We're going to have those feet up into the air. We're going to have the hands lightly behind the head. It is bicycles in 3, 2, and 1. Opposite elbow to opposite knee. And we're getting a full leg extension with each of those rotations. Now every time you crunch in, if you can breathe out, you're going to find the right rhythm that we want for that breathing. We got 10 more seconds here. Last 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. That is good. You are hopefully officially warm, feeling a little bit of that core muscle. Let's get into kind of the more challenging stuff that we're going to have to wrap our heads around, which is the beginning parts of our workout here. So like I said, we've got one movement that's going to be done on both sides. The first part of that movement is going to be a full range of motion for 40 seconds. We're going to rest for 10, and then after that we go pulsing on the same side for 20 seconds, 10 seconds of rest, and then we switch it over. So let's give you a quick breakdown of what we're doing. Our movement is going to be a step back lunge with a shoulder press. So if our right leg stays in front, we're going to step back with the left for the lunge. You're going to stand up and push up with the right side. So the weight is in the forward leg side. We've got 40 seconds of doing these. Your more manageable option is just to kind of take less of a knee bend and maybe not even extend that arm all the way up. So we do that for 40 seconds, you rest for 10, and then on the same side, 20 seconds of pulsing, where we're going to stay down, and we're just going to go up and down just an inch or two for 20 seconds, and that should be a burner. That should get you feeling it. We'll do that on one side, then we'll switch it over to the opposite side, do the same thing, except when we finish the second side, right after that, we're going to get into 30 seconds of cardio. Now your cardio movement today, for our standing stuff, is going to be working zigzag position across the sides of your mats. So 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, and kind of working that zigzag motion with both those steps. You go into one direction and then into the next. Once you start feeling good, then you can start picking up that pace into what you're doing. Push that pace if you feel good with it. If you're a little confused early on, this is practice. So take your time, get ready for it. So we've got 2 movements. Our first is that step back lunge with the shoulder press. Our second movement is going to be an overhead reach, where we're going to have you here. And this is a movement we wanted to keep it as simple for you as possible to not overwhelm you. Movement we've done a lot of in the past. You're going to reach up, hands to feet, and come back down as that full range of motion. And then as you go for the pulse, we're going to keep you on the out, keep the feet up and the hands up, and just going up and down just a little bit. More manageable approach has that arm here, and you're just doing a little bit of that as that pulse position. We'll get to it as we get through it. Follow along with us, let's learn it, and then we can really rock as our next 2 weeks come up. So first up, we're going to be doing one side, let's say our right side, and we're going to hold that more manageable weight. I'm going to put 10 seconds on the clock for us. There's my start button. Sarah's grabbed her weight, single-sided. It's a step back lunge and a shoulder press. In 2, in 1, let's get going. She's on one side, full down into that lunge, and then all the way up at the top. 40 seconds of this movement, then we'll have 10 seconds of rest. 20 seconds of the pulse will follow. So finding balance in that forward leg and finding strength in the forward leg to start us out here. You want to work on your breathing. As you stand up, you breathe out. Stand up, breathe out. We got ourselves about 5 seconds. Finish them up in 3, 2, 1. And we're going to stay on this side. We're going to even keep that weight, and we're going to go to the pulse next for 20 seconds. So down to that bottom point in 2, 1, just up and down a little bit, just a little bit with both the arm and that leg. Try to keep that weight in that heel. Try to feel your glute getting some good power, some good work right here. Let's burn it out, build some strength. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Stand up. We're going to switch to the left side. Yeah, you're welcome to switch to a lighter weight if you'd like there, sweetheart. All right, beginning in 3, 2, 1. Your right foot steps back. You stand up and you press that weight up on the left side. Good. Remember, more manageable option We can step back and just do a little knee bend and still push up through that heel to get what we need out of it. There we go. So lighten your core up. Let's tighten the belly. Let's wake more muscles up into what we're doing. Let's also have that improve our balance along the way. Perfect, perfect. We've got 10 more seconds, then we rest for 10, and then we do pulsing on this side. In 3, 2, 1. We rest for 10. Our pulse is coming up. It's 20 seconds of pulse on that left side. In 3, 2, 1. Get to the bottom of that lunge, hold it, and then just a little bit of an inch up, a little bit of an inch back down. Very minimal. And work the control factor by keeping that core nice and tight. Once we're done with this, we've got 10 seconds of rest, and then we go cardio. In 3, 2, 1. Put that weight down. Stand towards the edge of your mat. We're going to get you with those zigzag feet, 2 feet to each section. In 3, 2, 1. 2 steps, 2 steps. And then bring it back. So kind of quick feet. Now for those of you who follow me, you know that huge football fan. This has its roots in kind of that football sport culture. All right, we got ourselves about 10 seconds left. 10 seconds left. Quick feet. 2s all the way through. In 3, 2, and 1. That is good. So, hopefully we're starting to learn a little bit about how we're going to do this. Our second movement coming up is going to be on the side and doing that side crunch. 40 seconds of the full crunch first. More manageable option on that full crunch. Can still have the knees bent and still utilizing that arm coming over top for the full range of motion. When we get down to that pulse, we're going to either stay right here or you're going to bend those knees in and you can bring that arm down at your side. And keeping the arm down at your side as well as those knees bent can be a little bit more manageable of approach for you. Sound okay? We getting a little gassed?
40 seconds of this. Yeah.
Woohoo! All right, you want to see Sarah sweat? Here we go, folks. We'll put 10 seconds on that clock. I'd like you to be down on your side, arm overhead, one side for 40 seconds here. Let's go ahead and lift up and breathe out. In 2, 1, let's go. Perfect. So when she's lifting up, she's breathing out. We're trying to put good breath to what we're doing, and we're trying to find the sides of her abs working a little harder. By having the arm go out overhead quite a bit, this gives us the full range of motion. Really, really key that we start to identify and target where these motions are and what muscle groups we're targeting. Woo! 10 seconds, 10 seconds. She's looking at me like she's getting a little burnt out over here. This is going to be a good video. I think we're going to get a lot of likes on this. All right, in 3, 2, 1. It's 10 seconds of rest. Same side, pulses for 20. Remember, you have some options. In 3, 2, 1. Little bit up, little bit down. And now that arm can be down at your side, and those knees can be bent. Whatever you need to make that more manageable to get your way through it. We got 10 seconds, 10 seconds. Woo! Oh, this is going to be a good one. In 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Turn it, switch it. Next side coming up. Full range of motion. In 3, 2, and 1. Full lift. Control back down. Good. Now I try to warn Sarah on the mornings when she shows up and she's like, I'm going to go run for 4 miles. And I'm like, Sarah, you better not. We've got a workout this afternoon. And she goes, I'll be fine. And here we are. The struggle is real. 20 seconds. 20 seconds.
20 is a long time.
Sarah's taking the restful approach at this point in time. She's going for that unwinding factor in the middle of her movements. Hopefully you are not out there. Last few finished up in 3, 2, and 1. We go to the pulse next. The pulse next. This is where it gets good, folks. Beginning in 3, 2, 1. Find that option. She's working more manageable. Maybe you are out there as well. There we go, there we go. So she's breathing. When she's coming up, she's breathing out. Coming up, breathing out. Last few. Finished up in 3, 2, 1. Very good. Go onto your back, and we're going to do bicycles for 30 seconds here. On your back, hands behind the head. In 3, 2, 1. Opposite elbow to that opposite knee. This is our 30 seconds of cardio for this floor movement. Full leg extension. Okay, and work on some turns side to side. Got 10 seconds left. 10 seconds left. 3, 2, and 1. Woo! All right, ladies and gents. So, hopefully we got a good understanding for what's going on now. We're going to do it again. Why? Because we want to see Sarah working hard. I hope you all are working hard out there too. I'm going to hit that reset button. If you'd like some water, this is the perfect opportunity for you to grab a little bit of that. Second opportunity, we start with that full lunge and that shoulder press. Now, if you're kind of burning out, let's eliminate the weight. But if you're feeling good, keeping that weight. I'm going to put 10 seconds on the clock. You get yourself into a standing position with a weight on one side or holding it with both hands. Your choice through there. And 10 seconds, we get going. So we're going to start with the weight on the right side and the right foot staying in front with that lunge. In 3, 2, 1. We get the step back and we get good extension all the way up. Good. So take your time initially here, right? One solid lunge at a time is all that I want from you. I don't need speed. I just need you to make sure that the knee stays in good alignment, not dropping inward, but staying a bit outward, and that heel is pushing you up in front for our good power. Got ourselves about 10 seconds here. Focus and finish. Get through that burn. That burn is real. That burn is progress. In 3, 2, 1. We've got 10 seconds of rest. Next becomes the pulse. This is where it gets great. Tune on in, folks. In 3, 2, 1. Nice and low. And just couple inches up, couple inches down. Still keeping that heel in charge in front. 10 seconds, 10 seconds. Breathe. Find your in, find your out, find your in, find your out. Finished up in 3, 2, 1. Nice. Okay, switch your sides. Next side coming up. Full range of motion. Get started in 3, 2, and 1. Your left foot stays in front. You stand up through that lunge and you extend up through that left arm. Now, if Sarah's feeling this right now, something tells me mañana, I'm going to be feeling it, and she will too. It's going to be a long week. We got 4 workouts this week with our fun new sequence. Let's get strong, everybody. 10 seconds, 10 seconds.
40 is a long time.
And remember, manageable options are always okay. In 3, 2, 1. If you need to be more manageable on this pulse, you're just coming up a little bit. You're not so low into that stance. Pulse coming up. In 3, in 2, in 1. Up and down just a little bit. We got 20. After the 20, it's rest for 10, and then those quick feet for 30. Got 10 seconds here. Got 10 seconds. Finished up in 3, 2, and 1. Let's put that weight down. We finish up with cardio on this exercise. Get to an end of your mat. 2 feet zigzagging across in 3, 2, 1. Kind of take a look down at those feet if you need to. Piece it together. You can have those arms moving a little bit. And then if you're feeling good, you can start pushing that pace a little bit. Allow those hips to do a little movement. Woo! Get jazzy, folks. Get jazzy. All right, finished up in 3, in 2, and 1. Woo! Okay, we take it to the floor. We do those crunches. Woo! After this, we'll go into our regular Tabata, so the confusion will end soon. Hopefully all of you are getting it. I got faith.
40 seconds, these crunches is a lot.
Yeah?
What's
Then
the modification?
what I want you to do is go your more manageable approach.
What is that?
Bend your knees more.
Oh.
Have your knees closer in. So same thing for all you out there. If that is way too much for you right now, more manageable approach of bending your knees more on it as your start point. Yep, and then you don't even need to extend those legs out all the way. You can keep them closer as you go back down.
Okay.
All right, so we got 10 seconds to get going. We're gonna get into that side position, top arm overhead though. I do want that for the full range. In 3, 2, 1, all the way up. And really control that arm overhead as you come back down. Now, if she needs that manageable approach, if she's burning out, she's gonna keep her knees in closer to the body. That's where she's able to continue the movement. 20 seconds, halfway through it. Woo! She's got the breathing, she got the breathing. And this is really key. If you don't pay attention to what your consistency is with your breathing, you're going to lose it. So find your breath out as you lift. Finished up in 3, 2, 1. Rest for 10. We pulse on this side next. Keep that hand just right down by the side is more manageable. In 3, 2, 1. Little lift, control back down. There we go. She lifts up, she breathes out. Lift up, breathe out. Put it together, folks. 10 more seconds. Nicely done. Work to that finish. Finish up in 3, 2, 1. Turn it, switch it. Your second side. Okay. More manageable approaches are always available. Beginning in 3, 2, 1. Full lift. Control back down. Love it, love it. Now she's in control. Now she knows what's going on. Perfectly done. Good, so everybody at home, you find where you can control. Control your breathing as you lift out. And then if you're burning out, you bend those knees. You keep the manageable approach handy. Got ourselves 10 seconds, 10 seconds. Getting through the very last of this segment here. In 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds, now we pulse coming up. Once we're done with pulses, we've got bicycles. So 2 movements remaining. Pulses start in 3, 2, 1. Bring it up, control it down. She's got that hand by her side to make it a little bit more manageable. And she's kept those knees bent. Kept those knees bent is absolutely huge in here. 5 seconds, last few. In 2, in 1. Awesome. So, get into on your back. We've got bicycles next in 3, 2, 1. Opposite elbow to opposite knee. Give me some good rotation. And find that breath out as you crunch. Crunch, breathe out. Breathe out, breathe out. Got 10 seconds, 10 seconds. Zone in and finish well. 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Okay, well, we didn't save the best for last. We came out firing right off the bat, everybody. I hope you all are surviving out there. If not, well, maybe we won't see you during tomorrow's workout. We'll kind of have to see how that goes. But a couple virtual high fives to y'all. Well done, everybody. I'll give you that thumbs up approach as well. And then from here, we're going to take it into something that's much, much more familiar for us, especially in the last 2 weeks. Our Tabata circuit coming up. This is going to be our regular Tabata, the way that we've been doing it. 20 seconds on, 10 seconds of rest. We move through 8 total movements. 3 of those movements are done on each side. Okay, so let's review what they are first and foremost. We're going to start out with what is called a snatch. This is going to be a combination of using a moderate weight and doing a squat to an overhead kind of pull back, overhead shoulder press. So we're gonna have our feet a little wider than usual for that squat, and the weight kind of sitting between the knees. The other arm, I like it to be extended out. Okay? One good squat comes down. We're gonna bend the elbow and pull that weight up above the shoulder, and then bend the elbow to drop it back down. So a key point of this is not to keep that arm straight as you lift up and down, but to bend the elbow to pull that weight up. So you go 20 seconds on one side of that, more manageable approach, just half squat, and maybe not bringing that weight all the way up.
Or you can break it up to press, bicep curl to press.
If you have something that works more manageably for you, do it. All right, so after that snatch, then we go single leg deadlift with a row at the bottom. You're gonna keep that weight. Whichever hand is holding the weight, that is the leg that's gonna lift behind you. You're gonna do a row at the bottom, and then you're gonna stand back up nice and tall. So get to the bottom, do a row, and then lift back up. Perfect. More manageable option, you're just going to do like a halfway point and practicing that so that you just kind of get that balance working for you and you get the core working for you. So those are your first 4 movements. That is half of your Tabata set. Once that's done, we're going to bring it down to the floor. You could keep a weight by you. You might need it for our second movement on the floor. Our first movement, you will not. You're going to be on your back. You're going to bring your hands kind of right at your sides or even right under your butt. Both legs are going to be up in the air. We're going to do a little crisscross of the feet up top here. And you're just going to go from one side straight up and over to the opposite side. More manageable approach. You keep those knees bent and you start just kind of practicing at this point, and that low back is slightly more supported. Your second movement keeps you on your back. You could add some weight, so I'm going to grab my book and I'm going to put it right on my hips. Sarah and I are going to bring the bottoms of our feet together. We're going to kick our knees out like our butterfly stretch. And we're going to then push through the heels of the feet to bring the butt off the floor and come back down. So we call this your frog hip bridge press. Gives you some nice stretch while also hitting some various different parts of the glutes. Okay? So that's exercise number 2 on the floor, and we finish up doing your reverse crunch with a twist. So we're going to keep you on the back. Now you may remember your reverse crunch as being here and lifting the hips up. Today, as we lift the hips up, we're going to twist to one side and then come back down. Feet to the floor if you can, but if you need a more moderate approach to this, you can keep those knees bent once again and just kind of lift up and down to one side only. So you'll do one side only, then we'll do the other side to finish up Tabata. I hope that is clear. I will call it as we go. We have 2 rounds of Tabata this time, so only 2 rounds that we're going to be going through, and then we're stretching for the day. So get your water, get ready for it. I'm going to put 10 seconds on the clock. You want that moderate weight right now to get into your snatch to start our Tabata sequence. 10 seconds, moderate weight in hand, wider stance with those feet.
How long?
In 3, 2, and 1. We go down. When you come up, bend that elbow, wrap it up, and drop it back down. So bend that elbow to get you up, bend that elbow to come back down. Sarah does a great job of having that other arm extended out, which I absolutely love. In 3, 2, 1. She rests for 10. We switch our sides next here. Controlling the down, powerful as you come up into a good snatch. In 3, 2, 1. Sit into it and bend that elbow. Practice this. This is day 1 of doing a new movement here. If you can really get it right with not only bending that elbow, but bringing that weight a little bit backwards at the top to feel that back muscle working. In 3, 2, 1. That's good. Next up is our combo of this single leg deadlift and a row at the bottom. Then coming up. In 3, 2, 1. Sit into it and do a row. Then come back up. Awesome. So control it more than anything. There should be some stretching in the leg that stays put. And the core muscles should be working hard to give you the balance that you need. In 3, 2, and 1. 10 seconds. Then we'll switch. After this movement, we go to the floor. In 3, 2, 1. Lower down with control. 1 row, then 1 lift. Excellent. Control it back down. 1 row at the bottom, then lift back up. great job of keeping that back straight. 2, 1. Put the weight to the side. Lie down on your back. You've got the legs up and one over and one under. In 2, 1. Let's get moving. Legs out and then switching. 1 over, 1 under. Sarah's giving you that nice power option right here. She's put that weight up. And then I like what she's doing with her head and neck too. She's got her eyes just a little bit up on the ceiling. She's lifted the head to give herself less tension. In 2, in 1. Next up, the bottoms of the feet go together. The knees go out. The weight goes on her hips. Pressing up in 3, 2, 1. Hip press up. Control it down. Good. As you press up, breathe out. Good. You got 10 seconds. Find those different parts of your glutes acting and reacting right here and keep control. In 3, 2, 1. Push the weight to the side. Put the hands down into the floor. You're going to do your reverse crunch with a twist to one side only. One side only. In 3, 2, 1. Lift it up. Little twist and control the return. Control the return is where we build this move. There we go. Good. She's got a great press. And remember, more manageable, you keep those knees bent and you just do a little lift up and down. In 2, in 1. Breathe. Next side coming up. Final exercise of Tabata round 1. In 3, 2, 1. Lift up, little twist. Control that return, folks. Control that return. Seconds, 10 seconds. In 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. You got 1 round remaining, folks. You got 1 round remaining. It is water time. It is break time. It is high five time. Give you one of those. Whoop. Very good.
It's not Rona.
You like that one? It's not the Rona. If it is the Rona, she's only giving it to me, so it'll be okay.
Jumping on the water.
Okay, so our last round here, final round, we're doing our same Tabata series. We're going to start out with that snatch position. Moderate size weight is what we want, and we do want the feet to be a little bit wider into that squat. I'm going to hit the start button, which means we got 10 seconds till we get going. Last little bit of exercise coming up today. Wide stance, weight in the middle. In 2, in 1. You're here. You bend that elbow as you lift up. You bend that elbow as you bring that weight back down. And at the top, if you can bring that weight backwards just a little bit, that back of the body, those shoulder blades in the back, they're working overtime. Helping to stabilize. In 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds of rest. Simply switch the hands, keep the stance. Other arm is extended out to the side. In 3, 2, 1. One good squat. She rips that weight up with power, with authority. This is an explosive movement, so if you can, I want you to start getting some burst into that top movement. 10 seconds. There we go. Finish up in 3, 2, and 1. Next up, we go single leg deadlift, and we do a row at the bottom. Whatever hand is holding the weight, that's the leg lifting up. In 3, 2, 1. Practice the down with 1 row, and then come back up nice and strong. Good. Work on your balance first. The bottom of that foot might be working overtime. Push those toes in. Get some more reaction out of it. Keeping her back straight, not rounding down. In 3, 2, 1. We'll go ahead and switch our sides. After this, we're going to go to the floor on our back, so be prepared to transition. In 3, 2, 1. Smooth down with a row, and then nice and tall. Good. More manageable approach, you're going about halfway. You're not going as low. Still going to put that row into it, even with that manageable approach. Go ahead. Last few, finished up in 3, 2, 1. We're halfway through it. Come down to the floor. On your back, you're going to have your legs going over, under, coming up on that back. In 3, 2, 1. Legs up. Move them with control. Move them with control. Good. Once again, Sarah's doing a nice job of lifting the head a little bit to release a little extra neck tension. She's going to keep her eyes straight up, and she's not going to get too tight. In 3, 2, 1. Bottoms of the feet go together into the floor. Knees fall out to the sides. Weight goes on the hips. You get the press up in 3, 2, 1. Press up, control it down. There we go. There we go. So we're building through that good press, and we're finding different parts of our backside working here. 10 seconds. There we go. Keep that breathing. Finished up in 3, 2, and 1. Let's put that weight aside. You've got the reverse crunch with a twist to one side only. One side only. You can keep those knees very bent as your manageable approach. In 2, in 1. Let's go. Bring it up. Hips up off that floor if you got it in you. Otherwise, you're just going to crunch them in and bring them back down. Little lifts and drops back down for that manageable approach. In 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and get ready. Switching, last movement of your day. Then we're stretching. Give me the best you can. In 3, 2, 1. Lift up and put that twist into the top. You got this. So Sarah's grounding through the hands, just providing stability through the grip to the floor. Last few. Finished in 3, 2, and 1. Woo! All right. You did it. She's red as a beet. You all are doing well out there. Thanks for playing along with us. Get yourself some water, some very, very well-earned water. Get ready to do some stretches with us. We'll give you a short breather to kind of catch up, and then from there we'll bring you down to the floor. We're going to do new stretches today. We had talked a little bit about this. We will start out with our regular, which is going to be lying down on the back and having those arms extended. But once we're done with that, then we're going to be moving into kind of a newer sequence to follow. So, first thing I want Sarah to do is just lie down on the back. I want you to feel that we're getting some nice stretch through the entirety of the body here. Right, so that spine unloading, that chest and belly opening up, even that low back and the hips, getting some opportunity to kind of pull apart here. We're getting into that good breathing. We get our nice big inhale in, belly breath in. We get that long exhale out. One more time, good inhale in, and long exhale out. Okay, come up to a seated position with us. And we're going to do our figure 4 stretch, something we've been practicing more recently, from a little bit more of a seat as opposed to our back. So I'm going to take my left foot and I'm going to put it around my right knee. And then depending on where I move my butt, whether it's closer to the heel, this is more challenging, bigger stretch, or it can be back a little bit to kind of lighten it up and to figure out where that moderate stretch works best for me. So as you know, my left side tends to be tight and my hips tend to be tight. So I'm taking like a moderate approach in the depth that I've got here. Sarah's all the way in. She's getting kind of good and tight. Get a little bit more out of that stretch for her. Let's get that belly breath in. Nice big inhale. And then nice long exhale. As we exhale, we'll unwind the left. We'll switch it over to that right. And if you notice that maybe your opposite side feels less tight, well, get deeper into the movement. See if you can get at least that moderate level of discomfort in the stretch. If you need to lighten it up accordingly, lighten it up. Just move yourself back a little bit extra as well. And so nice big inhale with the belly breath in. Nice long exhale all the way out. Okay, from here we go to our butterfly stretch. So no surprise to what we've been doing. We're basically going to take that seated approach. Now, Sarah's going to join me in the seated approach for the next 2 weeks for the butterfly stretch, and what she's going to do to make it more challenging is she slid her hands under her ankles, and then she took a little bit of a dip forward from there. So she's getting a bigger, better stretch by sliding the hands under the ankles and then tilting the top of her body a little forward at that hip line. Okay. Once again, nice big inhale in, nice long exhale out. We're going to kind of release the legs, and this is a new stretch entirely for us. We call this the hurdler stretch. So what we're gonna do to have you start out with is we're gonna take your right foot in front, and with your left foot, we want you to twist it a little bit so that you can get that left knee to come down. Now, if that means the leg needs to be out a little further, you can kind of figure out where this works best. Her and I are probably gonna bring it back a little bit more to get a little bit extra out of it for us. And then your left hand is gonna go up and overhead towards those right toes. Okay? So it does have a little bit of that low back stretch, still a part of things on the left side. But then we're getting a nice hamstring and calf stretch on the right side. You're even getting some nice hip flexibility and some adductor stretching as well. Let's get a nice big inhale in and a nice long exhale out. We'll kind of gently come up and we'll switch our way out of this. So once again, let's work through it. We've got our left leg in front of us. We're going to take your right foot and we're going to kind of bring that right knee to the floor. Figure out how far you can go back to kind of get some good activity out of it, and that right hand reaching to the left toes. Now, a few things that we wanted to talk about this week: the beginnings of a new week, change, and being aware of what's going on around us a little bit extra. So having good awareness of our being, our feelings, and how that meshes with change as well. Nice big inhale in, nice long exhale out. We're going to then bring our way into a kneeling stance. So we're going to take that classic kind of kneeling stance that we've been doing, and we're going to start to bring it a little further forward. So we're going to lean into this today. You're going to bring both hands to the floor. And if you'd like, whatever foot is behind you, I got my right foot, your opposite hand, if you're capable, can reach behind you and grab that foot. And this can be a much, much bigger quad stretch. If you can't do that, I just want you right here, right exactly where we are, with your hips forward and both hands to the floor. If you can squeeze your butt on this side, we can open that hip flexor and that quad a little bit extra. Okay? Your option, bring that foot back. Nice big inhale in, nice long exhale out. If you're grabbing the foot, drop it, and now open your left arm and turn to your left side. Kind of very similar to the warm-up movement we've done, where we're allowing the side of the body to open here. Belly breath in, long exhale out. We're going to bring the hand down, and we're just going to simply switch the knees from this position. Your left knee goes down, your right foot goes a little further out than the knee, and we're going to start into that big lean forward. Both hands can come to the floor from here. Work on the balance, and if you'd like, you can grab that foot. Left foot held by the right hand here. So over the weekend in the sequence that we released, we were talking a lot about taking pauses and how taking pauses can really add up to big wins. Small pauses can add up to big wins. And I think to a larger degree, we can talk about this as awareness, right? Being aware that we can take a small break and we can fix a stressful day by breathing a little differently, or by getting outside and just like walking for a few minutes. Awareness of your being and how you're dealing with things is really, really key to keeping us healthier in these times. Let's go ahead and release the foot. We're going to kind of roll over and open that right arm to that right side. So awareness in not only your being and your feelings, but then also awareness in your choices that you're making. And I think the most common choice that we consistently discuss here are food choices. But they could be beverage choices. They could be choices of what you're going to watch. You know, are you going to watch the news, or are you going to watch something that makes you laugh? I mean, consistently just asking yourself why you're doing something and being aware of yourself and your feelings and your actions. Nice big inhale in, nice long exhale out. We're going to bring the hand down. We're going to put both knees down. We're going to do a little child's pose movement. So I'm going to have you just kind of sit back, hips to heels, reach your arms out, and find a nice stretch here. So as we do this, you're really pushing your hips behind you and trying to sink your armpits a little closer to the floor. I'm going to have you breathe in deeply, and then as you exhale with your right armpit, I want you to push that a little closer to the floor and turn and lift the body a little to the left side. Nice big inhale in. As you exhale, switch, pushing the left arm into the floor and lifting the right arm a little bit extra on that right side. Breathe in. Exhale, go back to the right pushing, the left lifting. Inhale. Exhale to the left side down, that right side lifting. We'll inhale and come back up. We're going to have the hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to do a little shoulder stretch here, so I'd like you to open your right arm to the right side, and then we're going to reach underneath, and you can move that left hand a little bit, either forward or around the back. Get that nice big inhale in here. Nice long exhale out. We'll start to bring ourselves back upright. Both hands back under the shoulders. Let's do our reverse. We're going to breathe in and bring your left arm high. And as you breathe out, lower and bring that arm across you. And find where that right arm fits best for you as well. Nice big inhale all the way in. And as you exhale, we're going to start to come back to center. We're going to bring ourselves into a little kneeling position, into a seated position, something that is hopefully comfortable for you all. We're just going to finish with a little bit of forearm stretching today. So I'd like you to extend your left arm out so your palm is facing away from you and pull your fingers in towards you. So hopefully with some extra awareness, we really want to encourage you to accept some of the change that has come our way between this COVID-19, between being quarantined, and realizing, as Sarah and her dad like to say, change is inevitable, suffering is optional. So your awareness of change and how you deal with it. Let's go ahead and reverse, bringing that fist now towards you, up above, and stretching that top forearm. I feel like so much of the time, if we just take a little bit more time to be aware of what's going on around us, we find a lot more gratitude in our day-to-day lives. I think gratitude is truly the single best thing you can do to be successful and content in life is find gratitude for things. Let's go ahead and shake the left side out. Right side, palm is away from us. We pull the fingers in. As we're seated here, feel that the neck and the shoulders are staying loose. Okay. And then flip the hand, make the fist, bring it in. Good. Let's find that belly breath. Big inhale in. Long exhale out. We're going to shake it out. We're going to call that quite a workout.
You do it tomorrow.
I'll tell you tomorrow. We'll see how it goes here, everybody. Thanks for playing. We'll be back tomorrow. We've got 4 workouts this week, so don't be strangers.